Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Giggity, real name is Mark. And in today's video we are going to be continuing, almost finishing, this is the second to last one, next is the last one, continuing our series ranking every single gun in every single Call of Duty game from worst to best in chronological order. Last video was on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022, so that means obviously today we are ranking all 54 Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 2023 guns from worst to best. Only the Modern Warfare 3 guns, by the way. None of the Modern Warfare 2 guns, even though I know you can use them in multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. I know you can use them in there. We're not counting those because we already did that, obviously, with the last video. And if we did do that, it would be just be talking about 72. That's right, Modern Warfare 2 had 72 guns. It would be just be talking about 72 guns that we've already talked about in the past anyways. So I figured that would make no sense. And also the Jack variants are also not included because they're basically just attachments. I know some people are going to get mad at that and be like, well, the Moors can go from a sniper to a shotgun. The Stormender can go from a horrible EMP launcher to a weird wind-up shotgun. I get it, you know, the Jack variants do change the gun quite a bit, but that it's not enough to make it even like a whole new gun to me. So I'm not going to be including those in this video. Also, we're not ranking them based on Warzone at all, just multiplayer. I'm a multiplayer guy. All I do is play multiplayer. I don't play Warzone in the slightest bit, so I don't know anything about Warzone metas or anything like that. So we're just gonna do it on multiplayer, and we're ranking it just based on personal preference. I'm not a professional or anything like that. I have used all these guns before, so I do know, you know, what I'm talking about, but it's my personal preference on which ones I like anyways. Yes, obviously the ones that are better do tend to go towards the top of my list because I like to use good guns in these games, obviously, but it is at the end of the day just my personal preference. And also, finally, we're not ranking any of the grenades or melees because those aren't guns, and I have a whole other video planned out for those anyways. Only weapons that are primary and secondary guns, Modern Warfare 3 original guns, are included in this list. None of the Modern Warfare 2 guns, again, no campaign only weapons, no zombies wonder weapons, no kill streak holdable weapons, just the primary and secondary guns in the multiplayer of Modern Warfare 3. And we're splitting it up into 6 tiers: the awful tier, bad tier, average tier, good tier, amazing tier, and the best tier. Song of the day is called Down to the Honky Tonk by Jake Owens. Obviously, that's a country song. It has the word honky tonk in it, so it's clearly a country song. But yeah, I like country music, man. I'm not ashamed to admit it anymore. I used to be ashamed to admit it, but I'm old. I'm too old to care about what other people think about my taste in music, so I like it. I like listening to this song whenever it's like nice out. I got the windows rolled down, driving around on Sunset, listening to country music. Just makes me feel happy. So if you like country music, go give it a listen. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Number 54, my least favorite Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 2023 gun. Woo! That was a long intro. I apologize, and I'm still not even done with a couple things I wanted to say. There is a couple more things, but I'll split those up. I'll say one of them right now, though. This video is going to be going live very late tonight. I got back way too late, but I didn't want to miss the upload, and so it will probably be going live around 10:30. I apologize in advance. Either way, 54th place, the worst gun in Modern Warfare 3 is the Stormender. Yeah, again, even if I was including the Jack variant, this gun wouldn't be that high. It's like this weird charge-up shotgun sniper stylistic thing, almost like a slug round shot. I don't know. It kind of reminds you a little bit of like a absolute great value version of the what is it? Pharaoh's gun there in Black Ops 3, the specialist ability, Tempest. The Tempest. It kind of reminds you a little bit of that, but either way, that it's not good. And no matter what, the Stormender sucks. Coming in at 53rd place, however, is going to be going to the other launcher in this game. Luckily, the great news about Modern Warfare 3 2023 is it does not have a lot of crap guns because it lets you use all the crap guns from Modern Warfare 2. So you can use the Pila, RPG, Strela P, Joker, Riot Shield, all those that were in Modern Warfare 2 you can use in this game. So they didn't add a lot of launchers and Riot Shields or anything. So this is the only other launcher in the game that truly sucks. It's the RGL-80, which is kind of like the War Machine, you know, from Black Ops 2. It's obviously a little bit better than that. And again, this does have a Jack variant, which does make it a little bit better yet again, but it's still just a grenade launcher, man. It's not great. And coming in at 52nd place, however, is going to be going to the wonderful Torque 35. This is the last gun in this entire list, the last weapon, I should say, in this entire list that is not a bullet shooting regular weapon, which is a good thing. I mean, this game does have a pretty low number of guns, especially for a modern COD. Only 54 is a little lower, but the majority of them are at least like fun, you know, normal guns. So that's a good thing. And 52nd, the Torque 35. This is this game's crossbow, but it's actually not a crossbow. It's more like just a regular compound bow, which is actually a lot cooler, honestly, in my opinion. I do like the Torque 35 over weapons like the crossbow. The only downside is, if I remember correctly, the Torque 35 can get hit markers, which I guess kind of makes sense because Black Ops 1, like the OG crossbow, was a hit marker weapon too. It didn't kill him in the shot. It killed him with the explosive. But like still, like, come on, in modern CODs, there's no room for a hit marker crossbow. Coming in at 51st place, however, barely missing out on the top 50, is going to be going to the first bullet weapon, and in my opinion, the worst. It's just horrendous. The MCW 6.8. Yeah, I've mentioned this 1,000 times. I better mention it really early on into this video, just so you guys understand where I'm coming from. I am not a DMR user. That's not my playstyle. I do not like playing Call of Duty games with single-shot DMRs. I just don't like them. I don't like them at all. So the vast majority of them are usually towards the bottom of my lists, even if they're not necessarily the horrible guns. If it has to be really good for a single shot weapon for it to get high. Like the FAL OSW from Black Ops 2. Yeah, I love that gun, but that's because it's incredible. The MCW is not incredible. It sucks for a DMR, and I already don't like DMRs. Breaking its way into the top 50, however, I cannot believe I'm about to say this, but it's the KV inhibitor. And what I was about to say that I cannot believe is this is pretty much a worse version of a Dragunov. Again, I can't believe I'm saying that because Dragunovs are already one of the most painful guns in Call of Duty history for me to use. I actually would probably rather try and kill them with a desk than kill them with a Dragunov. But the KV inhibitor is somehow worse. It's a single fire sniper rifle that is just so bad, especially when you take into consideration that the KVD Enforcer is just better in every single way. There's no reason to ever use the KV inhibitor in a game also where it has the long bow. Like, what are you going to use this thing for? Sorry for getting so flustered there, but man, some of the guns in the alpha tier for Modern Warfare 3 are truly that frustrating. Coming in at 49th place, however, is the Core 45. I'll be honest, I am not mad about the Core 45. This is the starting pistol every COD game has to have, that starting pistol, semi-auto pistol that just everybody knows how to use, everybody likes it. You know, it's a fine start, but you're going to swap it out the second you unlock a new pistol, and that is this game's. The Core 45 is okay. I don't hate it, but it's horrible when you compare any other sidearm in this game. There's no reason to use the Core 45. Also, the other thing I did want to say, I guess this is a good point to mention it because there's not much else to say about the Core 45. I've been uploading live gameplays and YouTube shorts on the channel recently, so please, if you guys haven't already, go check those out. I'm not asking for you guys to check them out for views. I'm asking you guys to check them out to give me feedback. If you guys see anything in those videos that you'd like to see me change, I would love to know that. And so that's the reason why. I just want to know if you guys are enjoying them or not, okay? Alright. Either way, coming in at 48th place, and the final one for the awful tier, before we get into the bad tier, is the Sidewinder. The Sidewinder, at first, the first time I ever used the Sidewinder, I actually almost went to Activision headquarters and left one of those steaming hot pile, what do they call them there when you leave a steaming hot pile of poop on their front porch in a bag? I forget what they call it, but I almost did one of those to Activision because I hated it. I have understood that it's definitely, at this point, I was using it the wrong way, but I still don't care. It's still not good. I don't like it. It's not my playstyle. The playstyle that it does encourage is the complete opposite of how I like to play Call of Duty. It encourages camping and holding down the longest angles possible and just not letting yourself be found. And that is unbelievably bad. All right, but now we are into the bad tier. So the guns in this tier, man, I'm still not excited to use them, if I'm being honest. They're a little bit of a fun fact. Most of the Modern Warfare 2 guns are pretty bad compared to the Modern Warfare 3 guns, so a lot of people don't use, a lot of people don't use the Modern Warfare 2 guns in Modern Warfare 3. However, the weapons in these tiers, yeah, you might want to use the Modern Warfare 2 guns. 47th place is the WSP-9. This is this game's Uzi, and apparently it was actually pretty good in Warzone for a little while. It had its own little run in Warzone. Again, I'm not ranking it off of Warzone, though. I'm ranking it off multiplayer, and off multiplayer, it was, why would you ever use this compared to any of the other SMGs? Why? There are really good SMGs in this game, and this is not one of them. Coming in at 46th place, however, yet again, another DMR. It's just how it kind of works here. It's the MTZ Interceptor. I guess they call them marksman rifles in this game, though, not designated marksman rifles. I don't know what the freaking difference is, man. I don't understand why there's DMRs and then there's marksman rifles. It makes no sense. Either way, the MTZ Interceptor is also kind of a bit of an insult to me. Like, this is, again, just yet again, the exact way I don't like playing. It's a little bit better, in my opinion, than the MCW. It's a lot better than the Sidewinder and the KB. And God, I hate those guns. But it's definitely not something I'm excited to go use. Coming in at 45th place is the first battle rifle of this list. Actually, no, it's not. The Sidewinder was. My bad. I apologize. It's the second battle rifle of this list. So, battle rifles in these games are almost like DMRs, but with full auto versions of them. So, they shoot really slow with a lot of recoil, but they hit pretty hard like a DMR does. And this is the SOA Subverter. This is a DLC battle rifle. And I am not going to use this. I'm sorry to say it. There's no world where I'm like going to be like, okay, you know what gun I want to use today? The SOA Subverter. It's just like a slower version of an assault rifle. I don't understand why anybody would be excited about this. Yep, here it is. 44th place. I told you guys. I told you there was just a better version of the KV inhibitor. And it's better, but it's still not good. It's the KVD Enforcer. This is a marksman rifle version of the KV inhibitor earlier that we were talking about, it shoots super slow. I hate marksman. I not only do I hate marksman rifles, I extremely hate marksman rifles that have a capped fire rate that you can't. It's not like as fast as you can pull the trigger. No. It has like this capped fire rate, and that is the KVD Enforcer. It's so frustrating. And then on top of all that, it doesn't even look cool. It looks like the most boring, basic gun. It reminds me of the X-Eon from Infinite Warfare. That is not a cool design. Like, what is this? Coming in at 43rd place, man. I know it sounds like I hate Modern Warfare 3 right now. I don't. I just don't really like some of the weapon designs. We're getting into the weapons later on where I do like them, but as of right now, man, it's not off to a good start there, Modern Warfare 3. 43rd place is the TAC Evolve Air. It's a DLC LMG, the first LMG of this list, that is like a weird futuristic version of like a SCAR almost. There's already a TAC Eradicator, which is that. It's like a Hammer remastered pretty much. Why would you ever use the Evolve Air over the Eradicator? I don't understand. Coming in at 42nd place, however, is going to another secondary that at first I thought was really good. Then the more I used it, I just realized it's kind of a big letdown. It's the WSP Stinger. This is like this game's full auto secondary pistol. Every game has one, and usually they're pretty freaking broken. In this game, it really isn't. I'm sorry to break the news to you, but yeah, I don't see why anybody would ever use a WSP Stinger. It's like a worse version of the F-TAC Siege. And the F-TAC Siege was incredible, don't get me wrong, but like, since you can still use the F-TAC Siege, I don't understand why anybody would ever use a WSP Stinger. It is kind of cool to run around with them as dual wield though, I'll give it that. Coming in at 41st place, however, barely missing out on the top 40, is going to be going to the WSP Swarm. Yeah, I mean, it's quite literally the exact same gun as the Stinger before, but an SMG variant. It does a little bit more damage, and it feels a little bit more consistent. It has like a little bit less recoil, but it's still, all the bad parts about the Stinger kind of still fit into the Swarm. I don't understand why anybody would use this. It's like a futuristic version of like a Mac 10, and the Mac 10 is already not a great gun. It's not good. Breaking its way into the top 40, however, is going to be going to the FR 5.56. Hey, they finally brought it back from 2 years ago. No, not really. Actually, the last time they had the FR 5.56 was in Modern Warfare 2019. But pretty much every COD has a version of the FAMAS, and Modern Warfare 2 had the FR Avancer, and then Black Ops Cold War had the FFA Art1. And it's just like every time they always bring back these FAMASs, and they almost never hold a candle to the OGs. And this is, yeah, it doesn't hold a candle, man. It's a 3-round burst assault rifle. 3-round burst is normally okay. Modern Warfare 2, the original FAMAS, was a 3-round burst, and that was busted. But in these games, I don't know. I feel like in the advanced movements, you really don't want a 3-round burst. You want something full auto. Coming in at 39th is an absolute insult. So it might as well be a big middle finger, actually. The Striker. No, this is not the Striker. Every time I think of the Striker, it's the drum shotgun. That's what it is. That's the Striker Call of Duty. Get it through your head. It is not a submachine gun, but it's also just a really disappointing submachine gun. This is clearly this game's like version of a UMP-45, for those who don't know. And it's fine. Don't get me wrong. It's a overall well-rounded SMG. It's a starting SMG in this game, so it's fine for that. It is fine for a starting SMG. You're not going to be upset. You're not going to be disappointed with your Striker. But at the same time, man, are you going to be happy with it? Absolutely not. Coming in at 38th place, however, is going to the Lockwood 680. This is this game's pump action shotgun, and I'm just going to be 100% honest. How is this gun literally any different than the Bryson 800? It's not. It is the exact same shotgun. I don't understand. They tried to pawn it off as some new pump action shotgun. It's not. It's not bad. It's not horrible. You know, you can definitely get some one shots with this thing and annoy people in shipment only playlists with a Lockwood 680, just like you could with the Bryson 800. But again, I just feel like this one's so pointless that it's almost insulting in a way. Coming in at 37th place, however, is an okay DMR, the DM56. The DM56 is almost like a G36 but DMR version. It's like really long compared to like the G36Cs that we remember. It's not a capped fire rate DMR, and it has like no recoil, so it almost kind of reminds you of like an assault rifle, almost like the FAL OSW, as a matter of fact. And so it's definitely not one of my least favorite DMRs in this game, but at the end of the day, it still is a DMR, and I still would just much rather use the Holgers in this game, which are the assault rifle versions or LMG versions of this gun. And coming in at 36th place, pretty much everything I just said about the DM56 also applies to this gun. It's the MTZ762. Yeah, it's another DMR. There's actually quite a bit of DMRs in this game, and I really don't know why, but most of them are pretty freaking bad and not that fun to use. The MTZ762 is just forgettable. Like, is there anyone out there that's like, man, I can't wait to go back and play some Modern Warfare 3. I really want to use the MTZ762. No, I'll answer your question for you. No, there's no one out there that is a big fan of these guns. However, coming in at 35th place and the final one for the bad tier, it was a big bad tier today. I know, we had a lot of bad guns in this video, but there's just so many boring guns in this game. There's plenty of good ones though to come. Don't worry, I don't hate every gun in Modern Warfare 3, but there are just some really freaking forgettable ones. 35th place though is the Cast-Off LSW. It's another LMG. This one does have like a crossbar attachment on it, so that's kind of cool. I respect that. But overall, it's not the chainsaw COD. Okay, it's not the chainsaw. It's not the Hades. All right, this is a very big disappointment for an LMG. But now we are into the average tier. So the guns in this tier, man, are fine. They're fine for this game. They're fine in the grand scheme of Call of Duty. You probably forgot about the majority of them, but they're not horrendous. Okay, and coming in at the number 34 spot in the first one for the average here is the Ram 7. The Ram 7 is this game's MTAR. Yes, the TR-76 Geist is also an MTAR. I don't know why they had to redo it, but this is an assault rifle, and it's okay for a full auto assault rifle in this game. I feel like there's just so many better options for ARs in this game than the Ram 7. Like, it's just not the best. And coming in at 33rd place is just, again, the better version of the TAC Evolve Air, the TAC Eradicator. This is not only cooler in the terms of its design, it looks and it reminds me a lot of the Hammer from Black Ops 2, obviously, but it's also just better. Like, the TAC Evolve Air is just weird. It has a weird fire rate. It has a weird recoil pattern. The TAC Eradicator, it does have a pretty big recoil pattern, but it's predictable. It looks cooler. It's faster to handle too. And that's a big thing with LMGs, is how fast can you handle them. That's usually the best LMGs are the ones that are pretty quick to handle. It's overall just a better LMG than the Evolve Air in every way. And coming in at 32nd place, however, is going to this game's heavy hitter, the Cat AMR. Every COD game, I should say, has a sniper rifle like this where it's super slow to aim down sights, but it has a payoff of the fact that it barely gets hit markers, and this is this game's version of that. It reminds me a lot of the ZRG 20mm from Cold War. It actually reminds me almost exactly like that gun. And it's fine. Are you going to use this? This is your starting sniper, by the way, in this game. Are you going to use this over the XRK Stalker when you unlock it? Definitely not. Or the Kar 98K or the Moors? No. But it's fine for a start, and it's made some cool clips. Coming in at 31st place, however, barely missing out on the top 30, is going to the Pulemyot 762. This is obviously this game's version of the PKP Pecheneg, and yeah, it's got, okay, this is one of those guns where thank God the gunsmith exists, because if this gun didn't have the gunsmith, it would be horrendous. But once you start to add attachments to the Pulemyot, it's definitely a lot better. At first though, yeah, you will hate it. You will want to change this thing out the second you can for any other LMG. It's very slow, and it has an insane recoil pattern, and it does not do enough damage. But once you start to, you know, get rid of that recoil pattern while also somehow dealing with the handling a little bit, it does become a lot better. Breaking its way into the top 30, however, it might make some people mad if you're like shipment fans only. It's the Haymaker. The Haymaker, again, is really good for shipment, and because every shotgun in Call of Duty history is good at shipment. But a lot of people always get like mixed up, and then they only play shipment, which I get it, dude. I mainly just play shipment 24/7 too when it's out. But when a lot of people do that, they always forget about like the fact that there are other playlists that exist. And in other playlists, the Haymaker is not that great, especially since the Riveter does exist. The Haymaker is just too weak at range. It is really bad at anything except for shipment. Coming in at the number 29 spot, it's just, oh god, it's just weak. It's just so weak. It's the AMR-9. The AMR-9 is a submachine gun in this game. It's like the last submachine gun you unlock, actually. And again, it's kind of like a weird pocket version of like an M4 almost. That's kind of what it reminds me of. But it's not good enough. It's not good enough to compete at range with assault rifles, and it's got way too slow of a fire rate and way too bad of handling to compete up close with other SMGs. I can't find like an instance where the AMR-9 is the viable option, and that's its problem. It's just slightly worse than everything else. Coming in at 28th place, however, is a really cool looking gun. This is like one of my favorite styles of guns designs, a G36 like style. I've always liked it. I've always liked it a lot, but it's the Holger 5.56. This is again, it's pretty much a G36C. It's an assault rifle version of like a modernistic G36C. It's yet again kind of the same thing we talked about with the AMR-9 kind of applies to this. There's just a lot of assault rifles in this game that are quite a bit better than the Holger 5.56 and almost anything else that you do. But it's definitely a cool weapon, and I would still use it time and time again just because I like how it looks. However, coming in at 27th place, and the final one for the average tier before we get into the good tier, is the Ram 9. Yeah, it's the exact same thing as the Ram 7, except this is a submachine gun version. So it's like the MTAR from Black Ops 2 compared to the MTAR X from Call of Duty Ghosts. That's pretty much It's pretty much the two differences between those two guns. The Ram 9 is obviously a lot faster, it handles a lot better, and in my personal opinion, I do like using SMGs over ARs. SMGs are so fast, and they seem to be, especially in modern CODs where movement is the real way of like winning gunfights. Yeah, having a fast gun that you can move around with faster usually tends to be better. All right, but now we are into the good tier. So the guns in this tier are not only good in the Modern Warfare 3 setting, but actually, you know, pretty somewhat memorable guns. Like, people definitely, you know, are like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's a gun. Coming in at 26th place, and the first one for the good tier is the D tier 3006, which sounds like I'm saying it's in the D tier, but no, it's not. It's a battle rifle. It's the last one of like the last guns they added into Modern Warfare 3, actually, and because of that, it never really got nerfed, and so it's still pretty freaking busted. However, it still is a battle rifle, and it still is very slow. And so again, on maps like Shipment, close range maps, the D tier is definitely not one of the best out there, but in any sort of other long range maps, it's really good. Coming in at 25th place, however, is going to be going to the Bruin MK9. It's definitely a step down from the Bruin we had in Modern Warfare 2019. I'll give you that. That was like a busted freaking meta gun for a very long time. But in this game, it's still good. The Bruin is such a weird gun because it doesn't look like it would be fast, but it is pretty fast for an LMG. It's definitely not fast when you compare it to ARs or SMGs, obviously, but compared to other LMGs, the Bruin is definitely one of the quicker ones. And it just is overall a really, really well-rounded gun. I would like for a little bit of a larger fire rate, though, from this gun. And coming in at number 24 spot, it's not reliable enough. It's called the MTZ-556. It's an assault rifle. It's one of the first assault rifles you unlock, not the first one, that's the SBA, but it's one of the first ones. It definitely, one thing I will say about the MTZ, man, such a forgettable design. I'm just gonna say it, man. Like, does anybody really remember what this like gun even looks like? Obviously now you do because you see it on the screen, but like, if I just mentioned it to you, would you? I doubt it. But then on top of all that, it just doesn't have it, like, it's just every aspect of this gun, I feel like there's an assault rifle that does it better, you know what I mean? Coming in at the wonderful number 23 spot, however, is going to be going to the DG58 LSW. This is this game's version of like a QBZ style light machine gun. Every COD kind of has one, and usually they're right around this part in the good tier. They're fine. They're just, you know, they're not going to be the best out there. I will say in this game, I really like this gun's like iron sights in its recoil pattern. It's like no recoil, shoots pretty fast. It's a pretty well-rounded LMG, honestly. It kind of feels more like an assault rifle, but it kind of just feels like if you took an assault rifle and made it slower. And so that's the reason why it's not in like the amazing tier or anything. Coming in at the number 22 spot, 22nd location, however, is going to be going to the tier. It's not the tier. It's the TYR. I don't really know how you're supposed to pronounce that. It's a Magnum. Okay, it's the Magnum secondary in this game, and for a secondary in this game, it's definitely one of the better ones. It's very strong. It's definitely not like going to get you a lot of one-shots. If you hit your headshots, sure, it can get you one-shots, but it's more of the time it's a two-shot, but it's a really fast-firing revolver, so that's okay. But then on top of all of that, you could dual-wield them. And so that just makes it 10 times better. Like, dual-wield revolvers will never not be good. It's been good since the Pythons. Coming in at 21st place, however, barely missing out on the top 20, is going to be going to the HRM9. I'm not even joking. I had to look up a picture of this gun really quick before making this instance, because I forgot what it looked like. Because I will be 100% honest, this gun has an extremely boring design. It kind of looks like almost like a ISO 45/BAS-P hybrid style weapon, but it's an SMG, and it's very, very just. It kind of reminds me of like what the AMR9 was trying to do. Like it's just like a better version of the AMR9 in every way. Breaking its way into the top 20 is definitely a gun that had a little bit of a fall from grace from where it was based off of, the STG-44. The STG-44 has always been absolutely broken. In almost every single Call of Duty that the STG is added into, it's a busted gun. In this game, it definitely is a little bit weaker than before. It's not one of like the top contenders. It's not a meta gun right now, but it's still pretty cool. I actually kind of give them a little bit of credit in their design choice for the STG, because they didn't just bring back the STG. They brought it back, but made it like, tried to like make it like a modern version, and I kind of respect that. Did it work? I don't know, but I respect the decision. Coming in at the number 19 spot, however, is going to another SMG, the FJX Horus. The FJX Horus is one of those guns that I'm going to be honest, I never really got to use that much, but overall, the few times I did use it, I do remember it being quite good. I remember the iron sights, as a matter of fact, being also really good. It's just a really fast handling, obviously not that great at range SMG. It reminds me a lot of the MP9 from like Modern Warfare 3. Like it's almost exactly like that gun, as a matter of fact. Coming in and then the 18th spot now is going to be going to the XRK Stalker. This gun's just basic old, pretty fast handling, but you know, it's slower than the other ones, but it gets less hit markers. Sniper rifle. And I guess this is a perfect moment for me to mention. I mentioned it in every single one of these videos so far, but I got to keep mentioning it just in case this is their first time watching it. This is why I do it based on personal preference, because I know that technically speaking, a lot of people, myself included, 99% of us, will have a better KD with something like an FJX Horus or any of the other SMGs or ARs we've talked about so far than with a bolt action sniper, because they obviously take a lot of skill to use, and the majority of us, again myself included, are not that great at these games. And so yeah, they're not like the best weapons in terms of like KD wise or whatever, but in terms of fun, they are. I love sniping in Call of Duty. It's one of my favorite ways of playing the games, and that's why I ranked them based on personal preference, because the XRK Stalker is a lot higher than it deserves to be, but that's because I like it. Okay, coming in at the number 17 spot, however, is definitely a gun that I don't really like. It's the Riveter. If you've played Shipment with the Riveter, you are a mean man. This game's full auto shotgun. This game's brekkie, and it is just, oh my god, it's so annoying. And then people put like freaking dragon breath rounds on them and incendiary rounds or whatever you want to call them on these guns, and it is just a nightmare. It honestly is. It's just so painful trying to use this, like trying to go up against these things. It's obviously really good though for the shotguns. I do think it's probably the most broken shotgun in this game for sure, but it still is a little annoying. Coming at 16th place, however, and the final one for the good tier before we move along into the amazing tier, is the DG56. The DG56 is another 3-round burst assault rifle in this game, which kind of, again, solidifies the fact that the FR556 is just kind of useless. The DG56 is just so much better than it in every single way. It is just a very strong, well-rounded 3-round burst AR. Is it as good as like the freaking COD 4 M16? Obviously not, it's not even close, but it is a good 3-round burst. I don't usually like 3-round bursts, and I did like using the DG56, so that's a good sign. Coming in at the number 15 spot, however, and the first one for the amazing tier, is the Renetti. The Renetti is a 3-round burst pistol, like you guys remember the Renetti being from Modern Warfare 2019, that is just as broken as it was in Modern Warfare 2019. It is somehow like more viable to use the Renetti than it is to use the DG56 in a lot of scenarios. But I will say the DG56 primary, Renetti secondary, that's one hell of a combo. You got 3-round burst out the wazoo, and both of them are pretty good. The Renetti is clearly, in my opinion, the best secondary gun in this game, especially if you dual wield them. It's like, dude, you will literally just tap your 2 triggers real quick on anybody that you come across and they're dead. Coming in at 14th place, however, is another battle rifle, but realistically speaking, this might as well just be an assault rifle. It's very assault rifle. It's the Baz B, or whatever. I will say on maps like Shipment, this is definitely not one of the better ones, because it still does have that battle rifle handling, where it's a little bit slower than the assault rifle's handling, but overall, it hits like a truck. It is so freaking strong. It is just... the recoil is a little bit much, and the handling is a little bit too low for me to put it in like the best tier, but it's definitely a very strong option, and it was fun to play with too. I like it. Coming in at 13th place, I'm still not over the fact that they decided to name it this, but whatever. At least they added a number after it. The Striker 9. Again, it's the Striker, still the drum mag shotgun, but either way, the Striker 9 is pretty much a faster handling version of the original Striker, which was the only big downside to the original Striker, was that it was just like, it was too slow for an SMG. It was like, why would you ever use that as an SMG? It's like, it had like a assault rifle handling and fire rate, but with SMG like damage and range, and it was just not great. The Striker 9 fixed most of that, and it's fine, but it's still a bit of a disappointment. Coming out 12th place is, in my opinion, without a doubt, the best LMG in this game, the Holger 26. Yeah, the Holger 26 is, again, another G36C style weapon, but this is a LMG version of that, obviously. It is just so very strong, though. It feels very similar to the Holger 556, but with much more damage and a better recoil and better range and much more ammo in the mag. It is literally just a better version of the Holger 556, in my opinion. I really don't understand why anybody would use that gun over this one. Coming in at the number 11 spot, barely missing out on the wonderful top 10, is the Kar 98K. Yeah, they brought it back, for those who didn't know. I actually didn't know this until a couple months ago when I went to reset all my accounts and played Modern Warfare 3 again. I didn't know they even brought back the Kar 98K, but it is good. Yeah, it's just as good as the Kar 98K used to be. I will say I do think it had a better run in Modern Warfare 2019. I think it was more dominant in that game, but overall in this game it's still very strong. It definitely takes a little bit of time though. You gotta level up your Kar 98K, get it to a point where it's super fast handling, and then you'll see all the benefits. This gun is freaking fast. However, going from a World War II style gun to a advanced warfare gun, coming in at the 10th spot and breaking its way, as a matter of fact, into the top 10. Oh, I forgot to do my thing. Wait 1 second. Breaking its way into the top 10 is the BAL-27. They finally brought it back. Did it make sense for them to bring it back? Definitely not. But they were like, you know what? I'm done making sense. We put an EX-1 in freaking Vanguard for some reason. So we're putting futuristic guns in Modern Warfare 3. And the BAL-27, I'm happy they did, because the BAL-27, having it back felt fun. Is it as dominant as the original BAL-27? Not even close, obviously, but it's still a very, very good gun to use and very fun, and I'm happy they brought it back. Coming in at 9th place is one of those instances where it's the starting assault rifle, and it's just, there's nothing really you could say about what makes it good. It's just really well-rounded. The SVA 545, that happens a lot in COD history. They make a starting assault rifle just be a very, very well-rounded, good option. That way nobody can complain, I should say, about like getting, you know, leveled up and getting better weapons. It's a great gun from the start. It's very well-rounded, but if you put in enough time to master like Call of Duties and stuff like that, yeah, there are better options in it. But the SVA is good, and it's good in every right. Coming in at 8th place, however, is going to be going to one of my favorite SMGs in terms of design. I love how this thing looks, the Rival 9. And the reason why is because it reminds me so much of the Scorpion Evo from Black Ops 2. I love like guns that look like that. It's just like a cool looking design. But the Rival 9 is freaking broken too. It's absolutely gross. It's an incredible SMG. It's super fast firing. It does have obviously a little bit of hit recoil for sure, and it's not like the best range, but for any sort of up close engagements, the Rival 9 is one of the best guns you're going to want in your hands. And then on top of that, I know we're not ranking the Jack variants again, but this has an absolutely busted Jack variant. The 3-round burst variant of the Rival 9 is so freaking frustrating to go against. All right, but coming at 7th place and the final one for the amazing tier, before we get into the best tier, is the MWRs. Yet again, another advanced warfare gun that they decided to bring back, and it's the MWRs, man. Who would have thought? Who in God's name would have thought they would have brought back the freaking MWRs from Advanced Warfare? I don't know what they were doing, by the way. In Vanguard, Modern Warfare 3, they just started adding advanced warfare guns like for no reason for something, but I'm happy with it, honestly, man. Yet again, I know it's not realistic to be running around with the MWRs in a Modern Warfare style game, but dude, it's cool. I wanted the MWRs back so much, and it feels just as good. Actually, it feels better than it did in Advanced Warfare in this game. I really like it. But now we are into the best tier. So the 6 guns in this tier are meta. They're absolutely incredible. They're busted. Sometimes they're extremely freaking annoying to go against, if I'm being honest. But number 6, the first one for the best tier, is the BP50. Yeah, this is a very, very good version of pretty much the F2000, if I'm being honest. It's like, that's pretty much all it is. It's really, really busted. It has like no recoil, and it has an absolutely insane amount of damage. But overall, I will say it's a little bit of a letdown, in my opinion. When I use it, I don't really like it, but I see everybody else use it, so that's why I'm putting it in the best tier. However, coming in at 5th place is just annoying in every single regard. It just makes me mad, and it makes me want to throw things at the television. The Reclaimer 18. This is a SPAS 12, a futuristic, obviously, version of a SPAS 12. It's a better version of the SPAS 12. But there's a Jack variant. Again, I know we're not ranking the Jack variants, but dude, there's a Jack variant where you can dual wield these things, and you have 4 rounds in each one of them, and you can just, it's like the HS-10s almost from Black Ops 1, but actually insanely good. And then it has Dragon's Breath too, and it is the most frustrating thing to go against, again, on any of the small maps. And obviously small map Mosh Pit is usually what I like to play, and it is a nightmare to go against anyone with these in their hands. Coming in at 4th place is almost like a perfect gun, in my opinion. It's the Superi 46, and the reason why I say that, even though it's not first place, is because it has exactly what you would want in a gun. It has like the handling and speed and fire rate of an SMG, but with like the recoil pattern and range of an assault rifle. It reminds me, this gun, even though it doesn't look like it, it reminds me a lot of the Honey Badger from Call of Duty Ghosts. It's very similar to that style, where it's like, yes, it's an SMG, but it can be an assault rifle too if you need it to be. It's very good. It's very well rounded. A lot of people will use it, and I'm not even really that mad that people do it. It's just a good gun. However, coming in at 3rd place, you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. Pretty much all my COD ranking videos have had at least one sniper rifle in the top 3 because I like sniping. It's the longbow. I will say I hate the longbow's design. I really do. I don't like the design of the longbow in the slightest bit. That doesn't look like a sniper rifle at all. It looks like an AK-47 that they just threw a sniper scope on and called it a sniper rifle. I really wish they had worked on the design and made a cool looking sniper. It looks stupid, but actually using it, yeah, it's freaking good, man. It reminds me a lot of like the SPR back in the day. It has an insanely fast aim down sight speed and insanely fast fire rate. Obviously, yes, it does get a couple hit markers here and there because of that, but overall, it's still extremely strong. And coming in at 2nd place is one of the guns that you will definitely see the most of, no matter what playlist you're playing, the Static HV. The Static HV is, I I don't know, man. I like it, don't get me wrong, like it's in my second place, like it's obviously a really good gun. But I do think I like using the Superi a little bit more because the static HP looks weird. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that, but the static HP doesn't look cool. I feel like I'm using like a Lego gun or something. It doesn't even feel like I'm really using a real gun when I'm using the static HP. It is really freaking busted though. It's really good. It's definitely more SMG style though than the Superi. It's not as good at range as the Superi, but it's still really busted everywhere else. But first place, and I want to say this really quickly before we get into this gun. This gun's first place for anything except for shipment. If you're playing small map mosh pits and shipment and stuff like that, yeah, the static HV is definitely better than this, but anything else, the MCW clearly takes the cake. This gun has no recoil, what feels like absolutely no range drop off, has really good handling for an assault rifle, and has an incredible fire rate. The MCW reminds me a lot actually of the ACR 6.8 from Modern Warfare 3, and I'm actually really happy with that. The MCW was just busted. It was busted at the start of the game, and it's busted to this day. I even think it had a hell of a runtime in Warzone as well. I believe people were using it in Warzone too. The MCW is great, and I'm not even mad that it is great. It actually feels like a gun where I'm actually kind of happy to use it, so that's a good thing. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video ranking all 54 Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 2023 guns from worst to best. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos you see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or other YouTube channels or any of that great mumbo jumbo if you'd like to. And yeah, man, next is obviously going to be on Black Ops 6, ranking all the Black Ops 6 guns. Obviously, it's not a done game yet, and they're still adding guns into that game, but we're going to do it based off what they have right now. And then that's it. That's the end of this series. So we'll have to come up with a new series. I already have a couple ideas though, so it shouldn't be that hard. But also, guys, I really wanted to quickly say, you know, go check out those videos I was telling you guys about. Just go check out the YouTube shorts and the other live gameplay style videos I've been making on the channel, because I'm making those on the off days. Those are getting uploaded on the off days, and obviously I understand, you know, you guys came to this channel for the lists and the ranking videos and the top 10s or whatever, but I still would like to see if your guys' feedback on those videos and see if you guys are enjoying them, or if you'd like to see me change something about them, or whatever it may be. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.